Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
What's up? Welcome to your Tuesday KVJ After the Show Podcast.
Kevin?
Yeah, here we go, everybody. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People talking a lot about Jaybird Stalker. In fact, some are making predictions, like Leslie. Said, hey, long-time listener, first time writing in. Before I begin, I just wanted to say your show gets me through all the ups and downs of my life. Thank you for being there. I feel as if you were family. So I cannot wait to hear Monday's show. I predict that Jaybird Stalker will show up Friday night to Cocktails and Karaoke. Jaybird is going to point her out to Vicious V, and a confrontation will ensue. Please, someone, for the love of God, have a camera rolling for this.
I don't know if Vicious V would. The only way Virginia would step in is if the girl started being mean to me or was doing something dicky to the point where I was noticeably uncomfortable and Virginia just couldn't stand to watch it.
You don't think if Virginia had a couple drinks?
I'm not going to
Something there would not be any kind of cat play?
Virginia's not like that. Virginia's very much, when she's drinking, she wants to have a good time unless she feels, now, whether it's real or not, if she feels that you are throwing the first stone, that's how you get on her shit list. But if you're partying or you're minding your own business, that's not how Virginia gets down.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm not going to start nothing, but I'll finish some stuff.
You will finish some shit, though.
Yes. Okay. I got this email about Jaybird's quote of the day. Dennys says, when Jaybird thinks the quote's going to be confusing, it's an awesome quote. When he thinks it's going to knock your socks off, it sucks.
It's a paradox. That in itself.
Yeah. That's how that works.
Deep.
Very deep.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see here. Next up, Dylan says, I will never ride another fair ride again due to the fireball accident in Ohio last year. Talking about your never to do bucket list.
Oh, yeah.
The anti-bucket list.
A lot of those rides, man.
I got stuck on a Ferris wheel back at one of the fairs or carnivals, and I knew it was going to be bad because right when I got into the thing, the guy goes like this. He puts the bar on me. He goes, "Watch your nuts," and then he slammed it down like that, and it was, you just knew something was going to go wrong. And
it sounds like something from a movie.
It was a real thing.
Watch your nuts.
He did, and I was on a date.
Sounds like a Christmas story.
I was on a date, and she told me I could open my eyes. She said, no, we're at the bottom. And I opened my eyes, and we were at the fucking top.
Oh.
And she ended up...
Them hoes ain't loyal.
She ended up going out with one of my buddies.
It's terrible.
It was terrible. Oh.
So you got this email about your pink lemonade beer. This comment coming in from Aaron said, I'm the one that texted about the pink lemonade beers. I've heard you mention it a couple of times, but when we were in Key West in March, I got to try the Waterfront Brewery's pink lemonade shandy. It was great, but a little sweet for me.
That is my concern, that it could be too sweet. Something that tastes good out of the first 4 or 5 swigs, and then you're like, Kind of like that what's that shit I always forget? Brisketta.
What?
Biscotti.
Biscoff?
Biscoff.
Biscotti.
Biscotti. That's how people that don't know how to say it say spaghetti.
Biscotti.
Biscotti.
I got me some biscotti.
Biscoff is good, but after like the 6th one, you're like, all right, that's enough Biscoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's too rich. And I think you can be too sweet. You can be too much. You can be too extra.
Agreed.
Because when they first came out with those Bud Light Lime-A-Ritas.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, these are great. And I was drinking like 3 or 4 of them. And then I was like,
yeah.
I want to stab myself.
Way back in the day, I used to be a big Mike's Hard Lemonade guy.
Yes.
Same concept.
Yeah. But even then, you could only, I even knew, like, you could only do like 2. And then it's like, okay.
No, I remember I think I had about 11 of the Mike Hard Lemonades. This is back
so
in
you defied the odds.
And I ended up eating so many. I thought it'd be a good idea to drink 11 of those and then have 2 bags of pizza rolls. Not a good move. Oh my gosh, I got so sick.
Kyle said, me and my girls ran into Dennys at BurgerFi this weekend.
Look at this.
He was cool. My girls weren't. They got pretty upset when they found out it was only Dennys. They're hoping Jaybird would be there too.
Oh, shit.
I was disappointed that the first time I got to meet Dennys, I had the kiddos with me, and I couldn't burn one down and talk about why pizza is round but comes in a square box and is cut into triangles.
Deep.
Real deep.
Also, any of you ever watched the show Weeds? I figured that might be one that Dennys and Jaybird would have seen.
I saw the first 2 seasons of Weeds, and I just, for some reason, did not finish it. But I did not hate it at all. I actually enjoyed
Because
it.
for some reason, stopped watching it.
I don't know why. It just happened. Life happened.
Yeah, I kind of realized that. Like, I never finished the show The Americans. Just kind of stopped watching it. Didn't necessarily not like it. Empire, same way. Just kind of stopped watching it.
I stopped watching The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and I don't know why. I think it kind of just
Some just fizzled. Some of them
fizzled,
I purposely know why. Like, I was just like, Orange is the New Black. I knew. I saw an episode. I'm like, I'm so over the show. And I stopped.
I was really caught up on Power, and the last season I just said, fuck it. For some reason, I just could not do Power. And I did really like Power.
I think it's good. And I know your issue about, but I think it was a slow build. And where the show is now, it's kind of like a Breaking Bad, where it's like your issue was like, okay, she was, one of the good guys, and she was dating this drug dealer and then didn't know, and then, then started to suspect it. And so then it's like torn, like, wait a minute, I'm dating the enemy kind of like thing. And then if you stay with the show, it's kind of a Breaking Bad where she is slowly going to the dark side, my friend.
Oh, shit. Don't tell me. I might go back.
Well, you should to watch it to see the progression.
I will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty
I'm only telling you that it's not like a major spoiler. It's just telling you that, it's an interesting path.
Okay,
to see what happens. It's kind of, I know, because you were saying what it was like going, okay, how do her superiors not know? And this is just ridiculous and blah, blah, blah.
I just don't like when things, when it's just everything's too convenient. It just, all of a sudden, I'm not going to explain it right.
What was convenient about it, though, gets messy. It goes to show you that, okay, you may be able to do some things that are a little bit shady. At first, you're going, oh my gosh, that was so easy. And how did I not get caught? And then be sure your sins will find you out. My mom used to always tell me. And it's kind of like the way with the show Power. Yeah, so you probably were like going, oh, come on, there's no way.
Do you think if Kevin all of a sudden changed, he wanted to be called Cobra, and he started going real,
Cobra?
like going to the...
I hate snakes.
Going to the dark side. He just wanted to get in the real seedy side.
I'd be afraid of myself.
This is how you embrace your hate of snakes, though.
Okay, yeah.
You turn it around on the snake, and you become a snake yourself. That's how you gain power of your phobia.
Yeah, all of a sudden he just really starts being real seedy. Does that do we start to follow suit, even though we kind of might not want to, because we respect Kevin? Do we start to become a little bit like, do we follow Cobra?
Yeah, you are a sum of your 5 closest friends.
And we were forced to work with him, which we are, and he was being all shady, and he was really being, his new persona was Cobra, and he is just fucking being...
I'd bring you down with me.
I think we would start to go down with him.
Yes.
He'd get you first.
Definitely.
But... I think eventually, I'd have to give in because you guys would be like outnumbering me with your snakiness.
Yeah. Show me your friends and I will show you your future, Virginia.
If you're a Cobra, what's my nickname? Venom?
Are we all in the snake family?
I don't know.
Toots.
Toots?
Cobra and Toots.
I love it.
But he always wears he wears a bow, but it's a feather boa.
I love it.
Oh, this is great.
I've got a snake and he's got a boa, feather boa.
Oh man.
He's hard, but he's got a soft side. He's trying to hang with
I'm
Cobra.
hard when I'm hugging Kevin. Okay, Toots, I love it.
Cobra and Toots.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I like that. I could already see this writing itself.
Scrap the Halloween movie. Let's write the Cobra and Toots movie.
Yes.
We could seriously do a movie.
Supervillains.
You could play every of your alter egos, and it would be so awesome. You could be like the next Eddie Murphy, where you play all the characters in the movie.
Like Medea?
Yeah, like Tyler Perry plays. I think you could totally pull that off. You could be Gibby Darlington. You could be Hand Pie Pennington. You could be Super Pie. You could be Hulk Hoagie.
It'd be pretty unwatchable.
You could be Whopper with cheese.
Yeah, it would be like Eddie Murphy used to always play every role.
Eddie Murphy. You'd be Eddie Murphy.
If Kevin made me do that assignment, that would that would take me over the edge. That I would lose my mind because I would try to do it really good, and it'd be too.
It'd be pretty unbelievable. Could you write that? Yeah, it's only Jaybird, and
it'd be like a Heath Ledger.
Every role.
Yeah,
it'd be like a Heath Ledger Joker kind of a thing, where
you lose your mind.
You get too into
imagine
it.
writing them all together.
Oh my gosh, Hoagie and Super Pie and whatnot.
And Gibby Darlington.
Yeah, Gibby.
It'd kill me.
Now Toots.
It would kill me.
Whopper with cheese.
Now Toots. So Toots, it has to develop a little bit.
Yeah.
I like Toots.
But I think Toots is a power bottom and could get with Gibby Darlington.
Oh, definitely.
So you'd have a love story.
I'd have to fuck myself somehow, and I could probably make it happen.
With body doubles, yeah. You're fucking yourself.
I'm fucking myself.
Oh, yeah.
And you're kind of
Toots
into
is taking it.
Oh my
Toots
god.
loves it. Make no mistake about it.
Half of me is excited and half of me is scared. I don't know, man.
This could be an amazing show, yeah.
Maybe in 2019. I'm not ready for it in
It's
2019.
such a big project.
It is a massive project.
It's massive, man.
I mean, just writing that screenplay alone is going to be something there. On Monday's show, Kevin showed how fucking white he is when he discussed the 2 Chainz wedding. He said something about autotune. T-Pain is the guy who popularized autotune. Fuck, Kevin. You're fucking up your black entertainers. Yes, I am. You're right. That's a good call. When Jason was on the hot seat, everybody was passing up the chance to call him a dirty pussy-ass, easy-listening pothead. Love you all, and Jaybird, go fuck yourself gently. Huzzah, motherfucker.
Huzzah. I used that in the bedroom, and I don't think Panda knew what the reference
That'd be
was.
so weird. Like, what?
I went,
Did you use-
Huzzah!
What does that mean?
When did you use it?
When do you think I used it?
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think he knew what I was talking about.
Wait, why?
I don't think he listened to the podcast.
Oh,
that day.
jeez.
Bet you had an attitude. Why aren't you fucking supporting us?
I just went, huzzah!
Then he got in trouble.
like, what?
Because he was confused.
Wow. All right.
Got a tip for your beard here from Sarah. Said for your Halloween movie, wouldn't have to get chemical burn. You go to Walmart, Walgreens, Target, any of those stores, and get Root Touch Up Hair Color. It's in a can. It's a spray can hair color, but it washes out when you take a shower. There are different brands. Attached a photo below for reference. Almost like Halloween hair color spray, but more for everyday use. So try that out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure I won't get that everywhere.
He'll be stuck in the rain.
He'll come to work and be going, why are you in blackface?
Why? Jaybird, you can't do that.
I don't know. I've never seen
Not
that
in
at
these
Walmart.
times.
I'm in Walmart a lot. I've never seen that there.
I think I've seen it. I've seen Root Touch Up before.
Is that kind of like what you could do for bald too? You could kind
Yep.
of spray it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
they
is
do
a very
lot of
good tip.
Anything looks better than the white scalp showing through.
Or chemical burn. Chemical burn, man.
that. No, not a good look usually.
Are you sure you didn't leave it on too long?
No, I'm telling you, I actually sent Kevin a lot of verbiage about people who are, because I was using, remember when I was doing the wrestling thing? I was really into the Hulk Hoagie. I
Yeah.
was doing the jet black.
Just for men.
Yeah, just for men. And there is a lot of people who have made, they've reported to the claims board or whatever, where people were getting chemically, they changed something in their formula and people are getting chemical burns now.
Maybe you're not man enough to use it, Toots.
I'm not man enough for a lot. I noticed you didn't get a nickname. Or let me think about that one. I do like Toots though.
Toots is great.
I got this anonymous email, said, following up on the recurring issue of bathroom culprits at work, I was entering the bathroom when my coworker came out of the stall. Apparently her aim was bad and I went to another stall.
Oh.
So when you know who a culprit is, then what? Added twist, would your answer change if the culprit is logical and can have a nice discussion like Kevin, or the bitch you fear in the office like Virginia? Not boss bitch, but you don't want to get on her shit list. No pun intended. Thoughts on a Monday morning?
I mean, how do you have bad aim as a female? I don't understand. If you're sitting, I mean, is this girl standing with bad aim? That could be the only thing, right? I mean,
Do different chicks have different P radiuses?
And do
Like, could some of them come out like when you put your finger tight on the garden hose, does it come out like,
Yeah, that's a great question.
Right, yeah, like that.
It has
that
to
level.
be different. No, there's no way every girl pees and poops the same way. I bet
Yeah.
some girls have exploding diarrhea and it flies out like a skunk.
Yeah, I've heard some girls that are just like, you're in the bathroom and you're peeing and you're in a stall and maybe other people are peeing in the other stalls next to you and you listen for like, I don't know, just how heavy is their stream. And I can tell, like, definitely there's other girls that have like bigger, stronger, thicker streams than me.
Is it bigger lips or is it bigger body?
I don't know. I
Might
gotta
just
get
be
in
their
there.
pee hole.
Right, the big pee hole.
Yeah, you might have a longer pee hole or one that's got like a skin flap that serves as kind of like the finger spray and just,
You're right. Your whole hose analogy makes complete sense.
Absolutely,
If there's
yeah.
something, maybe the flap blocks part of the hole and it comes out in a different manner.
Look, people can have a bigger nose hole. Why can't they have a bigger pee hole?
Absolutely, yeah.
That might be the deepest shit said today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toots.
Anybody done a study on pee holes?
And I would imagine girls probably poop differently too, depending on their butthole.
You're making all the sense in the world.
Okay.
Those seem to be pretty uniform.
Are they?
Are they?
Unless it's,
They're not.
All right,
receive some work.
let's Google it.
I don't think they are, Kev. I think it's just, like Virginia said, the same analogy
Some are looser than others.
could be used with the nose hole. Why, if you have a different shaped nose hole with boogers coming in and out?
Like, look at Jaybird's nose hole. He's got tiny
does,
nostrils.
tiny nostrils.
You'd be a terrible cokehead.
Yeah.
But,
Do you think your nostrils are in direct relation to your sphincter?
oh my goodness.
I got a pretty small butthole, too. I don't want to brag, but...
Prove it?
And could you tell? Like, could you play a game
Is
where you
your
could?
butthole the same size as your nose hole?
I don't know.
No, there's no way. It's got...
Well,
no,
they say it's correlated to, what is it, your index finger, that they're supposed to be the same, and mine lines up. I mean, mine's a perfect fit. So I wonder if maybe it does the same thing with your sphincter.
Wait, so you're saying your nose hole is the same as your butthole?
No, I'm saying that your index finger is supposed to be at the same radius as typically.
Yeah,
they say that's the case.
Mine's way too big. My finger's too big.
Yeah. So I wonder if there's
Is
any
your finger
correlation.
too big or is your butthole too tight?
Well, I'm not talking about my butthole. I'm talking about my nose hole.
Oh.
And
I'm
I'm
not putting
wondering
my finger in my butthole.
if you were trained at this, could you listen to different farts and tell who has a tight versus a loose sphincter?
Yes.
Yes.
I
some
think
of
you
you-
could.
Like that,
yeah.
that would be very tight, and the others just would
You're
just
like, all
be
right.
like, yeah.
That's seen some miles.
And it's got some flaps.
But although I don't know if that means it's seen some miles, I just think some people are born with loose buttholes.
If it sounds like a horse, then yeah.
You nailed it.
I mean, I'm Googling buttholes, and they do.
Where are these important studies?
There's a lot of different things that come up when you look for buttholes.
I'll stop talking after this. I'm just saying, I think every butthole is not the same. I think they're like a snowflake. They're
Not all.
different. I think they're different. I think buttholes are different.
Really?
Everyone, yeah.
I think he's right. Oh, wow. This person was born with 2 buttholes. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, shit.
Let's Google that. How many people are born with 2 buttholes?
Well, I'm going to Google how many people are born with 3 buttholes. So, I mean,
He's always got to one-up me,
we
Kevin.
could do this all day.
I think some people have more muscular sphincters than others.
Agreed. It's like anything. You got bitch-ass calves. Some people got boss-ass calves.
Yeah, just how we're made. Interesting.
Fascinating.
I'd like to bring an expert in here and play different farts for him and have him try to guess if we knew the correlation.
I'll look if there is a thing as a fart expert. I bet
Like,
there
I mean,
is.
some it's so well trained that they adhere fine. Because, when you're an expert in a field, you think unlike other people who don't know the knowledge you have.
We're laymen. He's an expert.
In radio, we
Yeah.
listen to the radio differently than people who aren't in our field. So if you were an expert, if you heard a fart, you'd be going, yep, tight sphincter.
I'd imagine a proctologist would.
Right?
First thing that comes up, professional fart smeller is an actual job in China and you can make money. That's the
Okay.
first thing that comes up.
How do they pay?
$50,000 a year
Oh, it's okay.
for a fart smeller.
Okay, is there like a cap on how many you got to smell? Or is that just how many they throw at you?
You know what? It's a lot to digest.
Because
in this
I would have
article.
my agent working on that.
Yeah, 50 grand seems like that's way low.
I'd be like, all right, we're going to cap it at this number.
I need $1,000 at least for each butthole.
Well, is that
Oh, that's
that
pretty high.
I know.
before or after taxes? That's another thing.
That needs
Yeah.
to be take-home pay.
Are you
need to
paying me
take
in
home.
yen? How's that compared to the dollar?
I don't know the conversion rate on a yen acquired from smelling buttholes.
You know what, Kev? It's actually an interesting article. I'm going to send it to you. you
I'm sure there's a virus attached to it.
I'll be deleting that immediately.
I'm telling you, this is a good read, Kevin.
Learning, huh?
Yeah.
We're educational here. Something of actual value is kind of interesting. Thumbelina sent this to me. He said, I'm not the fastest reader. I consider myself average speed. My husband took a speed reading class, and he can read pretty quickly, but after watching this video, I shocked myself with how fast my brain was reading with this type of technology. Never been able to read that fast and comprehend it in my entire life. I think this technology is great, and I hope it catches on. It's amazing. The video, just to summarize what it is, they've been doing studies on speed reading, and they showed a word, for instance, like amazing. And they said, focus on the red A. And then they zeroed in. It was like the second A in amazing. And they said, okay, now just focus on that. And then it was only one word per line, and it's coming on the screen really fast. So it's one word after another. And you got like a full sentence, and you read it like nothing. And what they're observing through this study is that typically when you read, your eyes go, you're moving through something like, left to right. And when your eyes don't have to do that movement and they sit still, that you can read at a much faster rate, even with high comprehension. And you'll be able to read. I was able on the video, they had 1.5 times, 2.5 times, and they had superhuman. I made it well to 2 times superhuman. I was a little bit lost. But basically, you can double your reading time if they had technology. Like, for instance, if you had a smartwatch, and it would break down an article and shoot it at you one word at a time and go through it. And then you would just see it. So your eyes aren't moving around. Your eyes just stay still. And then the words are, you'll be able to read much faster, because they talk about the added amount of things we have to read today with emails and social media and everything else that's out there. We're doing a lot more reading, believe it or not. Even though we may not be reading books as much, we're still reading more words through the course of a day. That could speed things up. I thought it was an interesting little concept.
You're blowing my mind, Cobra.
Yeah.
Is that his
Thank you,
nickname?
Thumbelina.
That's his nickname, Cobra, right?
Cobra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all right,
Choked
Toots?
up. I think I'm getting the bronchitis.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I haven't been feeling well.
There's a new bronc in town.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this town's not big enough for both of us.
My dad's got the panome.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Pneumonia?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
His wife texted me and my sister yesterday, and she's like, she's a nurse, so she's taking care of him, but he's got the panome.
Wow.
What do you do for that? Do you just ride it out?
I think you ride it out. I think it's one of those things where there's not much to
Gotta
do.
rest, yeah. Get your fluids, all that kind of stuff. You don't mess around with it.
Jeez.
That stuff will take you out.
And I think it's a myth you get them from being out in the rain. But
How
that
do you get pneumonia?
I don't know. I don't really feel like looking it up either. Somebody please email Kevin.
I've got too many open searches with anuses.
Well, first of all, how the fuck do you even spell it? That's alone is going to be 2 minutes of.
Yeah, we're going to struggle with panome.
Yeah. I think it's just, it's kind of like probably like just like a cold, it's like a virus, I would assume, right?
So you catch it from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if you catch it. I mean, you probably just get it. It's, there's like viral pneumonia, symptoms, cause, treatment. Yeah, so that's kind of it. It's a viral infection that causes inflammation in the lungs. So there you go.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
How are you doing in your bronchitis?
Yeah, you kind of fought it and fought it and fought it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily bronchitis. Just my voice was. I think my voice was just pooped.
But
Yeah.
sometimes that turns into bronchitis
It
for
can.
you.
Yeah, it can. Probably is a little bit more added drainage, and then I just I'm using my voice a lot, so just had to chill and get. You have to make sure you're getting enough sleep. So, yeah, that's it. But I'm doing okay. I'm rebounding. Like I said, I went to bed at 4:30 p.m. on Sunday and woke up at 2 a.m. So,
You got a full night.
oh my gosh, yeah.
Do you want to go to a salad bar with me and get some salads?
I know. I heard about that guy barfing at the salad
We won't
bar.
go. We'll go to a different one.
Ugh, salad bar.
No, I'm not doing any salad bars. Yeah, if you're trying to stay away from germs, let's go to the salad bar.
You'll have the pinots by 2 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be healthy.
Not the right strategy.
Salad bar. Yeah, all right. Fuck it.
Yeah. I got an email here that about the call about the other day, the Mercedes driver who can't pay for groceries. We'd had somebody say that they're in line and watched somebody go through 3 credit cards trying to pay their grocery bill at Whole Foods, and then they stepped in and paid the bill for them, and then they went outside and drove away in the latest model Mercedes. But somebody said, I've got a client whose husband is very wealthy. She drives a very expensive car. They are in the process of getting a divorce, and out of spite, he has shut off all her means of finances, including closing her credit cards. I agree with Virginia. You never know what someone's story is. Try not to judge.
Yeah, when you do things like that are nice for somebody, just focus on what you did and the good you gave to that lady and her kids, and especially the kids.
Yep.
Focus on them. They're innocent, and they deserve to not be stressed out.
Oh, man. They laughed all the way home going, we got another one. Yeah, we fucking tricked them.
The kids said that?
Yeah.
Kids.
Foul-mouthed kids.
Children.
Well, they're all lawless in that family.
They really are.
Amanda is writing us from Vancouver, Washington. Said, I go to the dog park a lot, and I always see good-looking guys there. Is it weird to ask someone out at the dog park? I also was thinking of maybe just introducing myself and giving my number and continuing about my way, just so there was no pressure on the other person. I'm kind of a shy person, so that makes just striking up a conversation with a random person very hard. Any advice you could give to help a single girl out would be much appreciated. As always, you help me get through every day.
Carpe diem on something like that, in my opinion. I think we're as long as you're not being inappropriate and you're not making anybody uncomfortable. If you see someone you like, not at work, ask them out. You're never gonna know. You're never gonna be able to steal second base unless you try to take that bag.
But if you go over to him, you can pick up a lot off of body language. So you're at the dog park, you see a guy you like, and you go over to say hi to him. You can kind of tell by his body language if he's into talking to you or not. Mm-hmm. Read those signals that he's sending you. If he looks like he's digging you, he's moving in, he's making eye contact, maybe he's checking you out from head to toe, he's smiling at you when he's talking to you. Those are all things that are like nonverbal clues that tell you he might be into you. If he's throwing you those things, then yeah, maybe offer up your digits with no strings attached. Just say, hey, here's my phone number. If you ever want to go out, give me a call. I'm single. I didn't know if you were single.
Even without any of those cues, I just say, if he's at the dog park, he might be focused on his dog. So if someone approaches him, he might not be in flirty mode. I love the give the number thing. Just give the number. Go, hey, I'd like to do something with you sometime. If it's not too weird. If it is too weird, oh, well, here's my number. Don't use it if you don't want to. Don't make it a thing. I love the number thing.
Dogs are a good common ground. I know when I have mine, the other thing you might notice, too, is you're usually pretty regular in what you do with your dog and the timing around your job and things like that. Like I would be at the dog park pretty much the same time every single day. So you might notice that there's a pattern. He might go at a certain time, and that might be something you could acquire. But honestly, breaking the ice, just both of you having a dog, it's such an easy way to start having a conversation just about the dogs, and then it leads into other things, and you can find out when he regularly goes there, and then just make sure you're there whenever he's there.
Start off with, hey, does your dog ever get the shits? And just kind of lead into that.
Because I've got a really mean case of them right now.
Worms.
It's an icebreaker.
What would Virginia do? Virginia's so much like myself. She seems to protect her children like a lioness protecting her cubs. I am humbly asking for her advice. I'll try to make it short. Virginia, my son, has one more year to go in order to get a degree from UCF. And 2 days before his 21st birthday, he was told that he has a tumor on his brain.
Oh, my goodness.
We basically spent the summer with doctor visits and tests, and the latest test is used to determine whether or not to do surgery, as it is not cancerous. Currently, he is on meds to control the seizures, and the neurologist has given him the go-ahead to attend his last year at UCF. Here's my dilemma. I get the feeling he's afraid to go back to school. I understand, but I don't know how to explain to him that he should go and complete his degree without sounding heartless. Any help is appreciated. Thank you. From Jennifer.
Oh, that's a tough one. So he's the one with the trepidation about going back, and you're the one that's like, oh, you got to do this. Are there any safeguards you can put into place to make him feel safer? If he doesn't have a roommate now, can you get him one? If he doesn't have a medical team there, can you get him one? Can you have people that are going to be around him to help him and check on him? I would be afraid too if I was going back to school, afraid that I would have a seizure and I didn't have any family there or anybody I was close to help me out. Maybe you can get people there on campus that can actually be a part of helping him feel more comfortable.
Might be able to do, I wonder if that's something you get a service animal for.
Yeah. Service animals do. They work for seizures, absolutely. They can tell you sometimes before a seizure's about to come on.
Yeah.
I don't know how many seizures he's had, though. If he hasn't had a lot, it might not be feasible.
It's possible, too. Maybe you could, transfer his credit, see how that works. I know sometimes they don't transfer a lot, but maybe there's a way that he can work from home, still work on completing his degree without having to go all the way back to Orlando if you're in South Florida.
Have you ever had a seizure before?
No. Oh, thank goodness.
My brother would get them a lot as he got older, and it's a scary thing because you don't.
Super scary.
Well, they come out of the blue, and you don't know what's happening. Especially if you're in a group and no one knows someone has seizures, and they just start going into that. It can be very troubling.
And this email says, I'm a 31-year-old female, constantly comparing my life to others at my age and feel like I'm completely lacking in accomplishments. Most of my friends have careers, are in serious relationships, or are married with children. I, on the other hand, am single and just started school for my second bachelor's degree while deciding to travel back to Australia in the fall for the third year in a row to work for a family. Looking back on my life, I know I realistically shouldn't have any regrets. I survived stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, wow.
I'm a 7-year survivor and have continued to fulfill my bucket list, traveling to as many states and countries as I can. I have no regrets on that aspect. I know if I were married or had kids, I wouldn't have this opportunity to travel, but I keep getting questions why I don't have a serious relationship or career by now. Why should I feel like I need to compare myself to social norms instead of being happy for much I've accomplished, even though it might not be deemed normal? Thanks for your thoughts.
Don't sweat that, because here in the West, it's beating your head. Everybody, you got to have a family, you got to have kids, you got to have your career. You got to have it all set in stone by age of 30. And the bottom line is that's just not realistic for everybody. Everybody learns, and everyone goes through different things at different times in their life and has different experiences. And if everyone has to be, married with kids or in a relationship at a certain age, that would be a boring way to live life. Everyone's different. Don't put pressure on yourself.
If you're feeling empty, though, if you're feeling like something is missing, maybe look into what you're giving back. Sometimes giving charitably and helping, maybe with children's charities or some place where you can have contact with kids if you feel like that's a place that you missed out on in your life. Give back in that area. You'll be so surprised how much reward you get back from it. And then you'll get a little fulfillment when it comes to dealing with, children, and you're not going to have to take them home and feed them and bathe them and all that fun stuff.
Sounds like she went to Australia, too. To me, I mean, if you're going to other countries and you're traveling the world, that's education right there. She says she doesn't have an education, but she kind of does in a sense.
Sure, absolutely.
It's all semantics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look at what you have and not what you don't have. Because the things that you just listed that you have are pretty freaking amazing.
The other thing that you have is you have perspective on someone who had a life-threatening disease and you beat it. I mean, that perspective, to have that is a wealth of knowledge. People would love to talk to you. You could make people feel better by talking about your story.
You could go to Leukemia Lymphoma right here locally and ask to be a part of a team that counsels newly diagnosed patients to be able to help them through their journey, because you beat it. I mean, you are the end goal for all of them.
To me,
you represent them, and you'll feel so good about doing that.
Yeah, that email is littered with education. I don't think she just knows that she has it.
Yeah, serve a great purpose.
You don't realize how awesome you are and how much potential you still have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Move some fucking mountains.
A lot of times we don't understand the journey while we're still on the path. Yes.
Oh, on that, we end it. I like it, though.
I think he out-quoted the day, you.
Well, that's not hard.
No, you had a really good quote today. I
Just
really
go
liked
along. Just go along with the insults, Kev. It makes it so much easier.
Oh, okay. I really did like your quote today. That was very
you.
good. That was very good. Yeah. All right. Well, your After the Show podcast being brought to you by Bud's Chicken and Seafood, offering 2 pieces of chicken and fries for $3.49 and 3 pieces of chicken and fries for $3.99. It's a delicious choice during the hectic time with the back to school for the kids, and it's a limited time offer, so jump on it soon.
I'm not gonna lie, a little bummed out that my bird sauce exploded in my book bag.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. I still may use it. I don't know.
Off the sides of the inside of your book bag?
I have done way worse things in my life.
Yes. Check it out, Bud's Chicken and Seafood. All right, y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.